On August 8th, a Minneapolis entrepreneur was found deleted in Rio de Janeiro. Dwayne Morris, a successful entrepreneur from Minneapolis, was on vacation in Rio. He was full of life, passionate about his work, and devoted to his family. But on August 8th, his life was tragically cut short. He was found deleted inside his rented home in the Copacabana neighborhood.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Brazil are investigating after a Minneapolis entrepreneur was found dead on a potential business trip.
43-year-old Dwayne Morris was the president and founder of Blue Waters Consulting and Seoul Community Development Corporation. As Rex Chapman reports, the Roosevelt High School graduate had strong ties to the community.
He's a fun partner to have.
Tamitha Richmond says her life partner, Dwayne Morris, made everyone he met feel as if they were his best friend.
He has a way about himself where everybody believes they're the most special person. So when he's interacting with them, in this last week, the amount of people that told me they're Dwayne's best friend, or they're a brother to them or a sister to him, and don't actually have that blood relationship. And that's really about how he showed up in his relationships.
From his time as a teacher, a basketball coach, or working at a nonprofit in North and South Minneapolis, Dwayne gave his all to what he was doing.
While others may have seen it as him staying really busy, it really was more about that Dwayne was sharing his gifts. And so it came easy to him. It energized him to be able to connect and help and provide.
The Roosevelt High School and Southwest Minnesota State University graduate managed a $14 million portfolio of businesses as well as provided financial consulting. Dwayne was a sole provider for his blended family, Tamitha's 3 children and his 1 child. Their home, a place where they mentored other young adults, another way he gave back to community.
To be a partner with Dwayne is really to share him with the world.
And as a family, they love to travel.
We've traveled to a variety of countries, and we were well aware of the things that were necessary as you become an international traveler.
That's why she has so many questions about what happened in Brazil.
It doesn't make sense. Dwayne was in the country less than 24 hours. He had not yet even spent the night in Brazil.
Dwayne was found dead in his rental home in Brazil. His family, as well as authorities, suspect foul play.
This is certainly a situation where Dwayne was targeted.
His death does not overshadow how much he contributed to the lives of many. His legacy, one of love and empowering others to be their best. Rex Chapman, WCCO News.
And so you guys heard it for yourself. In less than 24 hours, this happened to Dwayne Morris. I wish condolences to his family and also the people who miss him. Now, authorities initially thought that this might have been a possible overdose, but something didn't sit right with his family and friends. They knew Dwayne was a careful traveler and would never put himself in a situation like that. And so, of course, an investigation was started. And while this was going on, the news and announcement of another person getting deleted in a place like Brazil, of course, sparked the attention of people who immediately identified him as a passport bro. And what was really sickening to me was to see people celebrating life lost from a man.
Hey y'all, what's up? Good morning. I'm fresh out of bed, having me a cup of coffee, but I saw a story about a passport bro who was unalived in Brazil, and I ran my ugly over to Google because I needed more information about this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I pulled it up, and his name was Dwayne Morris. He was from Minneapolis. He was an entrepreneur or the CEO of a business, so he had good money. So what had happened is he went over to Brazil to meet up with some old sexy fine ladies, his piece. And once he got there, he was unalive within 24 hours of deboarding the plane. Now, word on the curb is, he had the 2 little chicks he met up with. It probably was one, but she probably brought a friend, so he probably thought he was going to give him a good old threesome. And then what had happened was they put something in his drink, got him back to the room, and the ladies told the po-po them that he started convulsing and foaming at the mouth. And by the time the ambulance got to him, they were not able to render aid, and he passed away.
Now, obviously, this is after they got word of what really happened. And we'll get to that later on because an arrest was made. But, as much as I've disagreed with people's point of views here on my platform, I do not wish any type of harm anywhere close near to this magnitude of any person I disagree with. And I really do mean that, man or woman. Right? I don't wish that on people. Outside of me believing that, hey, if you want to, if you don't believe fathers are important and single homes are okay, hey, it is what it is. I strongly disagree. I think that is an idiotic way to live life. That's as far as it goes. But I don't wish life lost. And I would never celebrate if someone's lost their life just because I disagree with their lifestyle and they weren't breaking any laws or hurting any people, so on and so forth. It just shocks me at how quick people are to celebrate things like this.
So I say all of that to say this. Y'all men have to understand. Y'all can scream, yeah, bro, get your passport. But you got to understand when you go to these people countries, especially other countries, the life that they live is completely different from the life over here. And a lot of times they think that every American have money when we book trips to go to those countries. But ladies, I'm also tell y'all this. When these brothers try to throw that shit up in y'all face about they need their passport, baby, take them to the post office and help them fill out the paperwork correctly to make sure they can get their passport booked just enough time to make their flight, because yes, they are taking out passport bros, because this is not the first time this happened. This is the most recent, but not the first time. What do y'all think about this? Leave me a comment. Let's talk about it. And don't forget to hit the follow button.
And even worse than this video were some of these comments, like this female commenter who says more men should become passport bros. And so she's like, more men should become passport bros so that they could get deleted. Somebody else here says, wonderful, all men should become passport bros. So this chick is like, all men should become passport bros again so they could get deleted. Followed by another comment that says, I just got back from a solo trip in Medellin in Colombia, and seeing the passport bros in real life blew my mind. These women are setting them up, shaking my head. At least there's a little bit of remorse there. Somebody else here says, I'm going to start selling insurance to them. Another person here added, why would these grown men want to be in the company of women that are their daughter's age? Here's another person who says, women doing the Lord's work. Again, celebrating men getting deleted. It's one thing for women to laugh at a man who got and lost all his money while messing with some big booty chick and he wasn't thinking right. Or for a man to look at a woman who is struggling in the dating market, because I laugh all the time. But no, I will not laugh if you're seriously getting injured or hurt. And people will sit down and they'll try to justify and say, oh, nah, it's as bad as losing your life. We live in a crazy world, man.
Y'all, another passport bro has died. I literally just made a video last week about a passport bro who was killed in Brazil less than 24 hours after he arrived by two women that he invited back to his house. And I was scrolling and I saw on CNN that another passport bro has died. So the first case, like I said, was in Brazil. This guy went to Colombia. He went to Colombia on a solo trip. He died in Colombia. His family was told that his cause of death was a pulmonary embolism, I believe is how you pronounce it. And that was his cause of death. Well, they received his stuff from Colombia, like his suitcase with all his belongings that was in his hotel room. And when they got the stuff back, there was women's items in the suitcase. So there was like a dress, there was earrings, there was heels, like there was a woman with him, even though this was a solo trip, which now they want it investigated because who was with him? Who was with him on this trip when he died? Because this was a solo trip. That's what they were told. And this article was posted in a Passport Bro Facebook group. So like the passport bros are being warned about what's going on overseas. I really don't know why his family took it to CNN or took it to the news, because at the end of the day, this happened in another country. There's nothing that the U.S. can do. You got the cause of death. You're never going to get answers, unfortunately. I'm sorry that, your loved one passed away. God rest his soul if he was a good person. But
that's crazy. She's sitting here talking about, I really don't know why they took it to, but I bet you when Brittany Griner and what's the other, the chick who got stuck over there in Dubai for being too loud, right? All these chicks were protesting, bring them back. No, it's not fair, right? It made sense then, but of course, they don't drink coffee.
If it is what it sounds like, again, why are men thinking that women can't not be a threat to them? Like, why do men think that women are not capable of committing crimes against them? Like, you invite a random woman that you don't know from nowhere. You don't know from a campaign. You don't know from Paul. Why are you freaking inviting a woman you don't know in another country who speaks another language? You're in her territory. That's desperation. You are so desperate for some coochie that you disregard your freaking safety. Like, what is not clicking? And I don't know. I was about to stop the video, but I just feel like women, we have like these thoughts in our head. When we go out of town, we are we are very vigilant. When me and my best friend were in Grenada, even though I love Grenada, it was a very safe country. As soon as we got in the car, we prayed that God would protect us wherever we were going.
This is a woman who believes in God.
To get there safely and to get back to the resort safely. Every freaking time. Men, they just don't have that.
Wow. Because I care, of course, I will echo the sentiments, also echo the sentiment of that one point of, if you're a guy who's going to these countries, you got to be careful, especially if you're just going there to clap cheeks, then you're already going to deal with shit in the US, clapping cheeks. In another foreign country, the more that they know that men from the US are going over there, the more that crime will be specifically targeted against those men. I would not encourage any man to go overseas to just clap cheeks. I do encourage men to go overseas with the intention of learning, knowing the environment. I mean, it is the smart thing to do, right? That's with anybody. It doesn't matter where you're traveling from. I would encourage any man to be careful and get to know the women before you closely associate with them, right? So as the investigation unfolded, evidence emerged that pointed to foul play.
We're getting some new details this morning about the murder of a Minnesota man in Brazil. Brazilian authorities arrested a 23-year-old woman for what they describe as a scam that targets tourists. Police say she has a criminal record for committing similar crimes. 43-year-old Dwayne Morris of Edina was found dead inside the property he was staying at Copacabana nearly 2 weeks ago. His life partner said she suspected foul play.
This is certainly a situation where Dwayne was targeted, that these people were experienced, and they drugged Dwayne, they robbed him, they left him for dead.
Brazilian authorities are still searching for a second suspect.
Listen, as always, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you think of this whole situation? Leave your comments and thoughts down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.